Hi there and welcome to the third in the series of the pulled pork taco videos. So this one is the corn tortillas. So we've made the mole spice mix, we've made the pulled pork that is busy cooking away here in the slow cooker, and we are now on to the corn tortillas. So for this we need to have some special corn flour. It's not corn flour as we would in the UK regard corn flour, because that's like a thickening agent. It's not that, it's special flour. Here you go, I'm just going to hold this up. It is a masa harina, or corn masa. So this is another thing that I got. I'll show you the actual pack. There it is. In Chile Island. You can get it in some of the really big supermarkets, or you can get it online. But it's important. It's this is the flour that you need to make the corn tortillas. I've got 200 grams. I'm not making a massive batch, so I've got 200 grams of that. Obviously you can, depends on how many tortillas you want to make, but that should be enough for me. And then I'm going to have not quite a full teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to just mix that salt in a little bit. And I'm going to make a bit of a well. And I've got 200 millilitres of hot water. It's not hot, so hot that I can't get my fingers in there, but it's not cold. It's kind of slightly over lukewarm. And I'm not gonna pour the whole lot in to start with. I'm just gonna leave a little bit in there. So I've probably got about 150 grams or 150 mils in at the moment. I'm just going to start mixing that round. The thing that I've found with these corn tortillas is that they're not difficult to make, but you've got to get the right texture. If it's too dry, they'll just crack and they'll be not very nice to eat. If it's too wet, they'll just stick. So it's all about getting the right texture. And I'll know it when I get it. It's coming together, but that's still a little bit too dry, so I'm just going to add the rest. The thing with this flour is I think different makes, you know, they're all slightly different, so you've really got to do it by feel rather than by weight. Now I'll say I need a little bit more water, so I'm just going to get some more from the kettle. That is still too dry. Let's add a bit more. A little bit more. I'm just going to pop that on there for a second, move it out of the bowl. I just knead it a bit. And if I need to, you see, I can just add more water on this. And I think I do need a tiny bit more. What you're looking for is sort of the consistency of Play-Doh. See how it's cracking? That means it's still too dry. Your arm's a bit of a workout and need it. A little bit more, just a smidge. I'll probably say I've probably done about 240 to 250 mils of water to my 200 mils of flour so far. It's looking a bit better, isn't it? As you can see, I'm now asking the camera whether I think it looks right. Doesn't bode well, does it? Now I'm going to let that rest for a minute. For about 10 minutes I'm going to let that rest. I'm just going to cover that over. Just look at the consistency. Can you see? It's kind of like you can play with it. So I'm going to put that in. Now when I come to actually flattening them, I can always add more water or more flour, but I definitely won't need more flour, depending on whether or not I think they're a bit dry. Because you can do that, you know, you can kind of knead the dough just before you pop it into the press. So at the moment I'm just going to leave that to rest, and then I'm going to prepare everything else and get it all ready so that we're good to go with the pressing and the cooking of the tortillas in a moment. So I'll see you in a bit. Hello, welcome back. Right, so I've let my dough rest now, and I've kind of rolled it into a bit of a tube here, a little bit of a roll. I think it is going to be a little bit too dry, but we'll see. So I'm using a dough cutter, but you don't need to use a dough cutter, you could just use a knife. But I'm just gonna, right, let's take half of it, and let's just do it into form. Now, I think that's going to be a little bit dry, but we're going to give it a go. That's quite big actually. So we're just going to test it out. So here is my tortilla press. What I've got is a Ziploc bag which I've just cut down the sides. So I can pop this in here like this. I can put my ball in the middle and then press it down. Now, for me, that felt a little bit difficult to press. So that could be that it's just too dry, but let's just see. Let's do another one. There we go, turn it round, do it again. Actually, no, that's fine. I'll show you why. So let me take that out. If you have a look, there's no cracked edges. It's all pretty even around the edge. If it was too dry, there'd be lots of jaggedy bits around the edge. It's quite flat, so I'd say that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my hob. Any frying pan will do. I'm just using a paella pan because you get a nice even heat on there. Just going to let that warm up a little bit, and then I'm going to fry them and press them as I go. So yeah, that's consistency wise, texture wise, that seems to be absolutely fine. So let's go in. Give that a few seconds on that side, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it twice more. So let's just pop that in there so it's ready. I'm just going to turn this. That has actually stuck a little bit, so maybe the hand wasn't quite hot enough. I always find, like with pancakes or anything else, You always have the sacrificial one, which is the first one, while you're just waiting for everything to get to the right sort of temperature. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for bubbles. I don't want it to burn, so it's just... This one is, I don't think this is savouring. I might change the pan. Right, I'm going to put that in there, but I'm going to pretty much write that one off. Let's just get these burnt bits off. Try the next one. If it's too hot still, I'm going to change pans. Okay, so once, turn it, voila. Oh, managed to leave some on there. A little bit on this side, and then we're going to turn it again until we get the bubbles. This is slightly better. So let's just do our next one. Okay, number 3. Let's keep going until we get a perfect one. Ooh, that's looking good. Out, and there we go. Right, so I'm just going to carry on until I've done all of them. It's nice, that's bubbling up nicely. I think that's just about it. Oh, a little bit more on that side. There we go. Right, let's turn this off. I'm going to move this out of the way. Because that's hot. Bring these forward. So there we go. So this here is my pile of nicely toasted corn tortillas, which I'm going to wrap while they're hot. And then I can just reheat them again once we're ready to eat our pulled pork tacos. So I hope that has been some sort of help. They're quite easy to make once you get the dough in the right consistency, and they're well worth it because they taste so much nicer than flour tortillas. But just remember, you need the right type of flour. That's really important, and sort of an even surface to cook them on, and you definitely need a press. The bag split in half is a really good way of making sure they don't stick to your actual press. They're nice and easy to get out, and probably a slightly heavier bottom pan, I would say, would be a better surface to cook them on. You get a more even cook, but those would be nice because they'll have some nice sort of toasty bits around the outside. Anyway, you'll see them later. So I will see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when the next video is coming out, and then please look out for the last video in this series, which will be bringing the whole dish together. So I shall see you in the next one. Take care, have a good afternoon, bye.